Hey, what's up to everybody out there? Welcome to another edition of the Roundtable Talk, and I'm your host, C Money. And today we're back at beautiful Mills Pond Park in Fort Lauderdale. I want to come out here and check out the scenery, check out the breeze, and I also want to see if it's the weekend, so I want to see if they're doing the RC racing, which they're not. I'm facing towards the north end of the park. The north end of the park, they're doing soccer. On the south end of the park, they're doing football because there's, I guess, a football team, like a little league team out there practicing. The east of me, there's people on the baseball field. I don't know if they're doing baseball because it's not a lot of people. The park is active. From when I last did the show when I was here, it wasn't as much active. But I want to see because this is the only park that I know that have RC racing. Remember, I visited several parks that had many activities. I visited Trade Winds Park that had the steam train rides, which I couldn't get because they're on the third weekend of the month, and this is, I think, the second weekend of the month, and next weekend I don't think I'll be available. And I visited Amelia Earhart Park, where they have the little water sports and they have the little man with the little train ride throughout the park. But let's not get into it. I'm going to talk about current events. I want to talk about what's going down. Earlier, a couple of episodes ago, I say that the previous episode, I did a episode on Ron DeSantis and what he is doing with the Disney battle and everything, and also his campaign to run for president in 2024. And I want to talk about that. Also, I want to talk about, as you know, former Vice President Donald Trump is being indicted, and he will be this coming Tuesday, because on this coming Tuesday he has to go to the federal court in Miami, and he will appear in court. And he did a video stating that he's been mistreated, that they treat him wrong and all that. He's saying that he feel like that he wasn't in the wrong and everything. But you got to realize something. If you have documents pertaining to the United States or anything that pertains to the White House, why do you have these documents inside of your private home in Mar-a-Lago? And why would you have private presidential documents, that is White House documents? All documents that are documented supposed to stay inside the White House, and they supposed to hopefully be in a secluded room. Like all the laws and the bills that got passed by the president, they supposed to be in a room where you have all the bills and the laws that have been passed. And I'm looking at it, if you feel like he didn't do no wrong, you did a lot wrong. You already in the scandal with the Stormy Daniels case, and then you in the wronging with the classified documents, and then you in the wronging for the attack on the Capitol. The attack on the Capitol. So it's like you're doing a lot of things that don't make you. And then they're saying Donald Trump is trashing Ron DeSantis. Let me tell you about this. For 2024, a lot of people say they don't want Biden as the president because he's the oldest president in the United States history. He's the oldest president that the United States ever had, because he's like maybe 70 to 80 something years old, I believe. I think he's in the 70s, I'm not for sure. But let me tell you something. In my opinion, we don't need Donald Trump and we don't need Ron DeSantis. And me and a friend of mine was having a conversation. We was talking about this, and my friend was like, a lot of people is not going to vote for Ron DeSantis because of the way, excuse my language, I know this is a show, the way that he's, well, no, I'm going to keep it clean, the way that he's messing up Florida. You're messing up Florida. You're basically saying you want Florida to be a gay-free state. You don't want no gays in Florida because you are fining gay people for doing performances. And as you know, June is Pride Month. So a lot of places throughout Florida is going to be having Pride events Wilton Manors, which is a gay city, or I should say, well, it is a city, but I'm gonna say a gay community in the Broward County area, is 90 to 95% homosexuals, because a lot of gay people, if you go down Winton Drive, because there's a bus that goes down Winton Drive, and 99% of each store is a gay store catering to the homosexual, and there's a lot of gay clubs there. So you really think that they're going to, and then you're trying to push, and I told you the reason why Disneyworld went against Ron DeSantis, because if you realize something, and me and a friend of mine was talking about this, a percentage of Disneyworld employees are homosexuals. Why? Because when you have people like Peter Pan or Pinocchio or Donald Duck, and a lot of these people that portray these characters mainly are homosexual men, because you're not gonna get somebody that's from the hood. That's like saying it's just a thought. That's just like saying getting Trick Daddy to put on a costume and portray a Disney character, or 50 Cent to put on a costume to portray a Disney. That's like saying putting, Jamie Foxx or putting Denzel Washington or somebody, even though they, these people have played been in, a lot of these celebrities have played these roles where they dress up in women's clothing, and like Tuan Fu and Shanae and all of that. But you're talking about a costume that somebody gets paid for every day, and they have to deal with jolly people for like 7, 8, 9, 10 hours a day. And if, like I told you in the previous show, if Disney World would have been all for Ron DeSantis and the Don't Say Gay Act, a lot of these people would have left Disney World, and Disney World would have lost a lot of employees, because a lot of people, have to put, every business has gay people. Every business employs either a homosexual male or a lesbian woman. And you have to realize something. If you get on board by supporting the banning of gay rights, basically you're telling your co-workers, forget you because you're gay. Why you think a lot of people like myself, even though I'm not gay and I don't portray myself like that, or even though, I don't think, that gay rights should be pushed away. And a lot of people say they're trying to portray gay rights along with civil rights. In a way they kind of are similarity, because when you look at it, you're not hiring a guy because he likes to sleep with men, or you're not hiring a woman because she likes to sleep with women. That's discrimination. You're not hiring a person because they have a feminine voice. That's discrimination. There are straight men that have feminine voices. You got to realize sexual orientation is a discrimination. Whether you're gay, bisexual, the one thing that I can say that I don't agree with is if you're a man, you coming in to work dressed as a woman. Now, it depends on what you do. Like I told a friend of mine, if you work at a call center and you come in dressed up like a woman or a trainee or a drag queen, however you want to call it, then that's understandable, because you're not that. But now coming dressed up like that as a teacher or as a cashier or as a profession that is in the public eye, I disagree with that, because I feel you need to come as a man, because now you're setting a bad example for a lot of people. I don't want to go to a supermarket and see a man dressed up in a woman's clothing ringing up a 10-year-old's money, and then you saying, that's what you want? Is that all you need? Here's your order total. No, because now you're sending a mixed signal. Now, if you're at a call center and you're picking up the phone and you're doing that, 9 times out of 10, these people don't know how you look at a call center. So it's like, I don't care what you look like, long as whatever you're doing for me gets the job done. That's one thing I don't agree with. But banning performers to perform in public events, or banning people, gay people rights and stuff, just like you're banning families to not mutilate their kids, like you don't want transgender kids. And I look at it as if the parents want their kids to be mutilated, if the parents want if their kids want to become transgender kids, and their parents agree to it, they have the right to do what they want with their kids. It shouldn't be the law telling you how to raise your kids. That's just like somebody coming up to you and saying, I don't think you should do this to your kids. It's not up to you how I raise my kids. The only thing that I see that a person should tell a person to do is how to discipline their kids, because you don't discipline them the way they used to discipline them back in the 80s and 90s, when they used to whoop them with belts and switches and extension cords and stuff. I agree. You should go up to a person and say, you don't hit your child. That's child abuse, But for you to go up and say, oh, I don't think you should mutilate your kid. You don't have the right to how to raise, to tell somebody else. And I believe that's what the law is. The law doesn't have a right to tell people how to raise their kids. Oh, you don't. I'm going to up in a law that you can't have transgender kids, or I'm going to law that you say your child can't be gay, or your child can't do this, or your child can't do that. So basically, you're saying that you're trying to get every kid to come back straight, and you can't do that. And then, like a lot of people say, I turned gay overnight. No, you don't. Gay is naturally, being a homosexual male or lesbian woman naturally comes to you. Most people that have came homosexuals, a lot of the homosexual men became homosexual, a percentage of it, because they have been molested by another man as a child, and it, got into their mind. A lot of, it stuck with them, and then, as a child, you're traumatized by that, so eventually you go with the flow of, okay, having sex with men. A lot of women start dating lesbians, because I've gotten this by former classmates, and I've gotten this by certain people, where a lot of women have told me that women treat their women better than men. Like, they tired of getting dogged out by men. They tired of getting, because it was a friend of mine from high school. She told me, I got tired of men treating me wrong, and I got tired of men doing me wrong. So I just started dating women. And in my mind, I feel, I believe that's true, but also I believe that had to be in your gene, and that had to be something that was always thought of. You just can't wake up overnight and say, I want to be a lesbian. No, you had to have that feeling in your mind a while back. It just never came surface until something serious traumatized you to the point that you was like, forget it. I don't want men no more. Let me go spend it with women and stuff like that. And and I don't think the government has the right to control how you raise your family, regardless if it's a governor or the president or whatever. Because when we, excuse me for the sinuses, the weather, we have been having bad weather. Like, it's been raining on and off. We had like wicked weather throughout the past days, so it's kind of messing with my sinuses. And there has been talk like, if we get Ron DeSantis into office, who knows what he's going to do to the world. Me and my friends was talking about this, like, everybody's laughing at Florida. Because look, and I was saying in this last video, look how many bills and laws that Governor DeSantis has passed within the past month. He's passed like 3, 4, 5, 6 laws within the past month. Don't say gay act, don't do this, don't do that. If you perform in a dress and a wig in a public event, you get fined $10,000, If you do this or do that, you get fined. And now you're trying to control Disneyworld. And now look, Disneyworld is still planning on moving. And if you move, and a lot of my coworkers was talking about that, if you move Disneyworld out of the state of Florida, Florida is dead. You have to realize something. Universal Studios is a thrill park. 90 to 95% of their rides are thrill rides. Rip Ride Rocket, Jurassic Park, Harry Potter ride, The Mummy. A lot of their rides are basically thrill rides. What is Disney World known for? Their Disney characters, their children rides. They have like 5 and 6 different parks. You have Magic Kingdom, Animal Kingdom, Disney MGM Studios, Epcot's, Disney Springs. You have a lot of these things. What does Universal have? Universal and Islands of Adventure, and they're building Epic World. When you take Disney World out of Orlando, that is a private island. Disney World is built on an island. That's why you take the boat or you take the monorail and everywhere you gotta go, because it's an island. They bought that island from somebody who owned the island, and Disney World built an empire from the 70s on up. If you take Disney World away, you can't put nothing else in its place. There's nothing that can replace Disney World. So for you to control what Disney does, and for you to control what America does and yours, and what the Floridians do, it's like you're saying, you're my puppets and I'm the puppeteer. Puppet dance. So I look at it as if, and then I look at it as if, what are we here for? Remember in the last episode I was talking about how he was sending border like officers over to help with the border, and then there was on the news that was talking about how a lot of the immigrants got shipped over to California, and then they were saying that Governor Ron DeSantis was praising, oh, I did it, I'm the one that did it, because I got the immigrants and I'm the one that did it. He's taking credit for it. And then the California was telling them that they wants to sue because they was telling these immigrants, oh, you're going to be safe over here, you're going to be nice and all that. When they get over there, they say it's a different story. They got these immigrants shady, they're not treating them right and all of that. And I'm like, why are you crediting yourself for fleeing immigrants from one state to another, from the borderline to a state, and you're crediting yourself? Yeah, why? Because Florida is the only state that the immigrants come ashore more than any other coastal line state. A lot of the immigrants come to Florida first because that's the first city that's closest to them. Like, you making it to the point where you don't want people, you making Florida look bad. Like, people are laughing at us. The cost of living is going up. The cost of having fun is going up. The cost of doing anything in Florida is ridiculous. Every month somebody's rent is going up. Every month the prices of gas is going up and down, up and down, up and down. Every month you got 99-cent menus, ain't much 99-cent no more. They're $1.20, $1.29, $1.50. That's not a 99-cent menu. That's not a value menu. You're supposed to get a cheeseburger for $1. You don't get a cheeseburger for $1. It's $1.10, $1.11. You got these things, and then you're more worried about a man putting on a dress. And it's the same thing with Donald Trump. You feel you didn't do nothing wrong, but then you was the one that encouraged the people to attack the state capitol. You encouraged, you denied having any allegations with Stormy Daniels. And now you sit up here and you want to run for presidency again? Like, come on, now. Don't nobody want a racist president, alleged racist president. Because this is a talk show, so I have to say alleged racist president. Because remember back then when he did the presidential debate, and he told them, oh, I did more for the black people than any other president. The only thing you did for black people is give us a stimulus package. And you had to give us a stimulus package because we was going through a pandemic at the time and people needed money. Biden would have did the same thing. Obama would have did the same thing. So you didn't do us a favor. What did you do for us? You wanted to cut out Obamacare because you thought it was silly to have Obamacare. You wanted to cut out a lot of this stuff. Just like a few years back, I didn't do an episode about it, but a few years back, I don't forget who it was. They wanted to cut out, they wanted everybody to get drug tests to get government assistance. I don't know if I ever did an episode about it. I don't remember if I did it or not. But in the state of Florida, they wanted to make everybody get drug tests for government assistance. I believe it was Governor Rick Scott that did that. And they wanted anybody who was receiving government assistance to get tested for drugs. And you had to pay $30 to get tested. And if you got tested and it came back positive that you had drugs, you was denied any type of government assistance, food stamps, Medicaid, I guess money, housing, whatever. And the government came and said, you can't do that. You don't have the right to drug test people just to get government assistance. So they made them give everybody back their $30 and stop them from doing it. Now, what I say about that, I agree and I disagree. I agree because a lot of these people get these government assistance, like they get these Social Security checks and all that, and they go spend it on drugs and they snort up their money and all that, and they use their money to buy drugs and shoot up and do all that. I believe that shouldn't be it. But it shouldn't be that you should do an actual assessment with these people. I don't say you should have to take a drug test, but I mean you have to do a periodically checkup on these people to make sure, that they're clean, because you want to make sure that you're not spending government funding money to support your drug habits. You're not using government funding money to support, bad habits. And that's the one thing I agreed and disagreed about. I disagree that you're not supposed to let these people pay to get drug tests for services. But I agree that if you are losing government assistance, once a year you should get checked up, for people on Social Security. The retirement age is probably around 70 something years old. If you're getting Social Security at 20, 30, 40 years old, every year you should get a checkup to still get benefits. I know certain places they do it, and stuff, because you got to go to the doctor, you got to let the doctor check you out and everything. I agree with that. And make sure, and then not only that, they need to make sure that you're not using any narcotics, you're not on drugs, you're not shooting up and stuff, because when they find something in your system, you should be automatically denied funds. And then that'll probably start shaping up people to start sobering up and start getting their life right to the point where they can receive benefits. Because I feel half of these people that's on Social Security, or half these people that's on government assistance on welfare, don't deserve it. Because you got people out here that are struggling to make ends meet, that's making $2-3 an hour, and they can't get food stamps. It have been several times in the past when I've tried to apply for food stamps and they say I make too much money. And not knowing that I don't make as much as, I don't make stacks. I don't make Oprah Winfrey money or Tyler Perry money. I make regular, pay my bills, have $2-3 left over, buy my groceries, and that's it. I don't have stack. I don't make $2,000-3,000 a paycheck, So they're telling you if you even make at least $2, you can't get no food stamps. And my coworkers them like, because you ain't got no dependents. I say, yeah, it's more harder for a single person to get food stamps than it is for a person with kids to get food stamps. But I look at it as if everybody should be entitled to food stamps, depending on, even with, SSI. At one point, my mama, she, is an elderly woman, and she was trying to get, government assistance that wants to, food stamps. And they told her, you can only get $20-30 a month. I'm like, with the cost of food these days, $20 ain't nothing unless you go on the Dollar Tree and spending your $20 in Dollar Tree. And Dollar Tree give you them portion dinners, them small portion dinners. They don't give you big dinners. You can't buy ground beef and ham and cheese and these big stuff in Dollar Tree. You know, you get them little knockoff waters that come in a bottle that's $6 for a pack of what. And then Dollar Tree even went up because now they're $1.25. So you got to look at these factors like, what is the government doing for us? What is the government doing? Now, I must say I like Biden more than I like DeSantis or Trump, because, you know, DeSantis just wants to stop a lot of this homosexuality, and DeSantis wants to change everything for himself. You see, when he tried to take our African American studies from the curriculum of the classrooms, a lot of black people protested, because basically you're telling me you're stopping my future of my kids or his kids or her kids. You're stopping the future of tomorrow from learning the history of our past, of our forecasters, of Martin Luther King, Crispus Attucks, Rosa Parks, you know, Sojourner Truth, you know, Harriet Tubman. You're stopping these people from learning about our past. And I'm like, what are you doing? Now, I want to ask you this. Who do you think, there's several questions I'm going to ask. Who do you think will be a best candidate for presidency in 2024? For me, it's Joe Biden. A lot of people say they don't want Joe Biden in office because, you know, he really not doing nothing. But you got to realize, when President Bush was in office, that man could not find Osama bin Laden for nothing. When Obama got into office, in his second term, he found Osama bin Laden and they got him. It was all about money. When the Democrat come in to play, basically, oh, there's a fire rescue truck here, so I'm guessing somebody got injured. When you get a Democrat into office, they're always here to clean up a Republican's mess. And it's basically true. Because look, when Obama got into office, he had to clean up everything that Bush did wrong. When Biden got into office, he had to do everything to push to clear up what Donald Trump did wrong. And now Donald Trump is trying to save his face by saying, oh, I didn't do this, I didn't do this, I didn't do that. You did a lot. You're just trying to cover it up. Your past is going to hunt you to your present. That's why I always say, if you ever want to go into politics, make sure you have a clean record on your hand, because whatever you did in the past will haunt you in your election. Because when they do these campaign ads and stuff, and they be talking about the other presidents and the other political people that they're running against, they speak dirty. You know, and it has not been said yet who will be running for governor in 2024. But, I mean, you got to realize, we can't get another Republican in the office, because all they're going to do is continue the legacy of whoever's in the office. Like, if you get another Republican to replace the Ron DeSantis, he's going to probably love the Don't Say Gay act and love and that's why Ron DeSantis is doing all of these bill passes, because he know his time is almost up. And if he don't pass these bills now, they won't get into act. They won't get into law, because he's ending and running for presidency. So it's a lot behind him. I want to know how y'all feel about it. Who do you think should be running for president? Do you think Ron DeSantis? Who do you think should win for presidency in 2024? Do you think Governor Ron DeSantis is doing what he thinks is best for Florida, or you think that it is wrong for what he's doing for the best of Florida? And do you think that it is right for him to run for president of the United States, knowing that he may not win because of the bad seed that he's carrying with the state of Florida? Do you think Disneyworld should move out of the state of Florida, despite the fact what goes down with the presidency and with Ron DeSantis. I want to know what y'all think about that. Email me roundtable00@yahoo.com. I told you this was going to be an updated episode. I doubt that I'm going to do an update episode in the future, but I will be doing an update episode because we have to do an episode about the presidency election. This is a topic that's been heavy on my mind with Governor Ron DeSantis and also with Donald Trump. Email me roundtable00@yahoo.com. You can also comment at the bottom of this page. Don't forget to click and subscribe to this YouTube channel. And if you have any episodes or any topics that you want me to discuss in our episodes, you can write it at the comment section of this page, or you can also email me roundtable00@yahoo.com. This is the Roundtable Talk. I am your host, C Money. I am at Mills Pond Park. I'm finna drink me some water because I done got thirsty again. I will see you in the next episode. Stay safe, stay blessed. I will see you. Have a good day. See you in the next episode.